Okay? Now, these challenging circumstances are, believe it or not, have some similarity to what in fact does occur in cancer. The physicians who are treating fibrotic disease are met with a situation in which there's a complicated disease in which the exact understanding of the molecular mechanisms of what's going on are really not that well developed. In the case of cancer, because of the large amount of genetic information that's available it's becoming available or already available in a given situation, you in fact can pinpoint, in some cases, what the alteration is that's driving the cancerous process. In the case of fibrotic diseases, we don't have, we don't believe we have real mutations or alterations in the gene structure, so figuring out what's going on is actually complicated in a different kind of way. But nevertheless, even though the results may be similar, the exact processes are not going to be the same in every instance. So trying to figure out what exactly is going on is going to be one of the goals at the center. Now, as I've indicated, the kind of pathways that are involved, even though they seem similar, there are subtle differences. There's a lot known now about the way in which cells function and the interaction between different kind of signaling molecules, and that's the kind of specificity that we're trying to determine in order to identify targets that we can develop drugs to. The other significant problem that's involved in this process is that there are no good, easy, or not even difficult methods, I should say, for determining when a disease, if you're giving a drug, let's say, how effective the drugs are. Because the fibrotic process is a relatively slow one, and it's not a question, for example, in cancer where the cells are growing reasonably rapidly. You can look at an X-ray or a CAT scan and say, okay, this is working or it's not working. You don't have really good ways of determining whether the drugs that you're giving are in fact being effective. In fact, the methods, and Dr. Jimenez can attest to this in the case of scleroderma, it's a really major problem. So this is another area that we're going to be trying to identify assays or develop assays where we can tell whether a drug is being effective or not, and not have to worry about looking at the patient over a number of years and say, okay, well, this didn't work. That's too bad. That's not the way we want to do it. Now, as indicated, one of the functions of the Shapiro, one of the functions of the center is going to be as a bridge between departments, and hopefully we're going to be able to try to integrate what's going on, let's say, in the liver and what's going on in the lung and so forth, and act as a bridge in this fashion. But we also want to act as a bridge between the basic science and the clinical department so that we can hopefully utilize the talents of the basic scientists in developing these kind of drugs. This all sounds kind of, I guess it's a little bit vague, but I'm sure you don't want to hear about the specifics of this. That's for another day. But there is some positive aspects. This isn't all bad news. That there is, in fact, a large number of drugs that have potential utility in fibrotic reactions as therapies, which are being used in other areas. Perhaps the best known to us anyway is Gleevec. Some of you may know that's a very effective drug for chronic myelogenous leukemia, and it turns out that may in fact have some utilization as a therapy for some, not all, some fibrotic reactions. So there's a large number of drugs out there that are in this category, and since they've been tested already for their toxicity, we can then go ahead and go directly to perhaps utilizing them in clinical situations where they may be useful. It's not to say this is going to be an easy trick, but at least there is some things going on that we can build on already. I think that's probably enough for me. If you want to talk to me individually, we can do it in the conference room. And in closing, I'd like to thank Dean Kaczynski's not here, but if he were here, I would thank him. Thank you instead. And I thank the Jefferson University for their enthusiastic and vigorous response. And also, you probably don't know it, but since we're on the dermatology floor, now you can guess that the center is going to be housed in the Department of Dermatology. For that, I have to thank my friend and colleague, Dr. Wheato. And also, I'd like to thank Dr. Jimenez, Sergio Jimenez, who we've had, Sergio, Yoni, and I have had many, many years of hopefully fruitful discussions and collaboration. And I'm absolutely certain that this is going to continue in the future, and we're very excited about this new adventure. Hopefully we can.
So I couldn't have said better myself. So now is the moment. Joe, can I help me to get this off from the wall? And,
there we go. There it is.
Joe, why don't you...
Want me to kiss it?
No. Stay right there for the portrait, and meanwhile, you all are welcome to a reception just next door there, and we have a little refreshments for everybody. So thank you everybody for coming here. It's a really important thing.
Are you having fun? Did you video well? Yeah.